Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Finally, I got my hands on the new Mini 5 Pro. That's not it. There it is. So in today's video, I'm going to give you my full honest opinion on this new drone. We're going to do an unboxing first, see what's in the box. And then we're going to go out and take it for a spin. And also compare it a little bit to the Mini 4 to see what's what. Alright, so let's open this thing up. Alright. Oh. So this is the bag. Feels nice. I can already tell that this is the standard, same material they use on all their bags. Nothing wrong with that though, I actually really like the quality of the bags. Alright, let's see what's in here. Oh. Is this the Mini 6 Pro? That was a bad joke. Okay, so let's start with the boring stuff. We have a little box here. So we have a USB-C cable for file transfers, and of course it's only a couple of centimeters. Not surprised. And then we have some spare propellers. Oh, it's handy, but I don't crash anymore. I never crash, so I never use these propellers. Yeah. Ooh, this is new. I think they've actually included ND filters. So we have 8, 32 and 128 in here. That's really nice. I'm really glad they decided to do this. If only they did the same with the Mavic 4 Pro though. Alright, so that was kind of it for the box. You can actually also, if you want to check out the bag, it's very organized, and this is a little pocket here for the controller. So let's start with that. This is the RC2. I'm gonna guess most of you are already familiar about this controller right here. Next we have battery hub. The hubbers. Damn, that's pretty small actually. I'm so used to the Mavic, so this is quite new to me in fact. Okay. I'm gonna assume the last battery is inside the drone, or I'm gonna be making some phone calls. So this is the... Voila. Damn, look at that. Beautiful little boy. Oh my lord. Alright, and there we have it. The 1-inch sensor. This is actually the one thing I'm most excited about to get to test, to see how good quality I can get out of it. So I'm really excited to test that. Gonna do that in a second, so hold on, hold tight, don't go anywhere. I think they actually went with a little darker color, if I'm not mistaken. It's pretty similar to the Mavic now. It's a little brighter, but I'm pretty sure that the Mini 4 is even brighter than this. But look at the difference there in size. This is the Mavic 4 Pro, by the way. Damn, that's crazy. Check that out. I see that there also are some new LiDAR sensors here in front, I'm pretty sure. And at the back here is the micro SD and the USB-C. Alright guys, I don't know what else to show you. It's not really that much else to show you. That is what's in the box. Alright, so first impressions of the unboxing. Extremely light and very, very curious about the quality coming out of this new 1-inch sensor. Alright, so I'm just gonna go ahead and register it, then we'll go out and take it for a spin and see what it actually can do. And I might even play some piano for you as well, if you behave, and that is only because I like you. Alright guys, so I've written down some pros and some cons. There are a lot of small and minor upgrades when it comes to the Mini 5 Pro over the Mini 4 Pro. I'm going to do an own video comparing the Mini 5 Pro versus the Mini 4 Pro. I'd rather focus on the biggest upgrades as I see them, and the reason I think it's actually worth upgrading to the Mini 5 Pro over the Mini 4 Pro. And it really comes down to three big reasons as I see them. And the biggest reason of them all is going to be the new 1-inch sensor that you have on this drone. When it comes to drones and cameras, the one thing I always look at when I see something that's newly released is how big is the sensor. That's always the first thing I look at. When you see a new release and you see a sensor is getting bigger than the previous one, that should get you excited, because a bigger sensor means better dynamic range, it's better in low light, it's just better overall quality. And I haven't gotten to test it fully yet, it was only the footage that you saw. We have had really bad weather here recently, but with that said, with the footage you already saw, I'm very impressed by the quality of this sensor. Now the second biggest pro for this drone, and the reason I think it's worth upgrading, you get twice the reach. You can actually go up to 48mm. It's not the same as you have a different lens like you have on the Mavic 4 Pro, where you have a separate 70mm and you have a separate 168mm. But even though this is the same lens, it's still much better than cropping in post. So I was very surprised actually by the quality when I used that 48mm on this drone. Better reach means you get to do different types of shots, which opens up so many new doors of how you can fly your drone. Which brings me over to the biggest pro number 3, and that is the new rotating gimbal. Listen, I was introduced to the rotating gimbal on my Mavic 4 Pro when I got that. The truth is that when I got it, I was kind of like, I was very suspicious of it. Everybody was labeling as a gimmick, but I'm gonna be completely honest with you. After using that gimbal for some months now on the Mavic 4 Pro, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I think it's such an awesome tool. And again here, it opens up so many new doors, possibilities to capture different types of shots, to be creative. I think it's such an awesome new cool thing. So I'm really happy they did include that as well on the Mini 5 Pro. So those are the three biggest pros. As I said, there are some other pros as well. So a worthy mention is the internal storage. You get 48GB of internal storage. Yeah, and something else that is worth mentioning is I'm really happy they included ND filters. But the more I thought about it, the more it makes sense that they actually do include it, because it's kind of useless to fly this drone without them because you're stuck at f1.8. It's worth mentioning also, just a quality of life upgrade is the propellers. So on the Mini 4 Pro, they were fastened with a screw. You had to screw them off. With this though, you can just press down, twist, and it comes off. That's exactly how it is on the Mavic series as well. I love simplicity, so I'm really happy that they did the same for the Mini drones. Couple of other things here, 4K 120 over 4K 100 on the Mini 4 Pro, and the same with 1080p 240 frames per second. But as you saw from my footage, that quality was nothing to brag about, but at least it's nice to have super slow-mo there. Alright, so those are the pros. So what are the cons? I couldn't really find any cons, right now at least. There is one con though that is worth mentioning, and that is the fact that this drone is supposed to be under 250 grams. I was reading some stuff on the internet that people were complaining about the drone being a little bit over 250 grams, and I did weigh mine as well, and mine comes in at 254 grams. Problem with this is that if it's over 250 grams, all of a sudden it is different regulations and restrictions for that drone. So just be aware of that. I don't know how crucial it is that it's just 4 grams over, but the law is the law. So I just figured that it's at least worth mentioning. So to round this video up, is it worth upgrading? I think it is. I think it is because of those three things I mentioned, the biggest pros. There are many minor pros, like a little better flight time, there's a little better in wind resistance, you know, there's supposedly a bit much better ActiveTrack, stuff like that. I'm gonna test all of this in upcoming videos. So if you want more drone content, or you want to learn how to color grade and stuff like that, I have a lot of videos covering that, and I'm also gonna cover much more of the Mini 5 Pro going forward. So don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button before you head off. That would also be highly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found this video helpful. Fly safe.